Andrew, let's just rewind this a little bit so our viewers can remember what this is all about. We know that Deutsche Bank has been the banker to the Trumps for 2 decades. And we know that the bank had its own documentation that indicated that at various times in the lending of over $2 billion, Donald Trump was a bad risk. He's not somebody that a financial institution, particularly a public company, should have been lending to. And there are all sorts of questions circulating about why Deutsche Bank would have been involved with the Trumps and what they know. What does this lead you to believe?
So I think it's really interesting because I think 2 things. One, it confirms what we learned just a few days ago from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, which is that their investigation, as you noted, is not just about hush money payments. To me, this is going to be a classic money laundering and sort of bank fraud investigation where you look to see what were the representations made to the bank. So I think that the DA's office is going to be scouring the Deutsche Bank documents to see what exactly was told to the bank about the Trump Organization assets. The other thing that I think is fascinating is that, we had a case, the Mazars case, that went all the way up to the Supreme Court litigating whether the Manhattan District Attorney could get documents from the Trump Organization accountants. In the meantime, Deutsche Bank, instead of litigating it, just handed over the documents. My suspicion is it's a question of timing. I think that the Deutsche Bank subpoena was given by the Manhattan DA's office while the special counsel was still in operation. It would have given Donald Trump an incentive to not fight it publicly. So my suspicion is that the reason you're hearing that it happened so long ago is it happened while the special counsel's office was still investigating. And the reason that Mazars was litigated is because that subpoena was issued after the special counsel's office investigation had officially closed.
Mazars, of course, the accountants for Donald Trump. Tim O'Brien, there was this remarkable piece in the New York Times. It was 12 pages or something of newspaper ink about the degree to which Donald Trump's family and business dealings were not kosher, to say the least. In it, there was an allegation that Donald Trump underestimated the value of some of his assets for purposes of taxation, which would lead him to have lower tax liability, and overestimated them for purposes of the bank. Do you think this has something to do with this whole thing?
I would suspect not in this case, Ali. I mean, the DA may go there, but I think a lot of the transactions, the times we're looking at in the piece you're referring to, I think the statute of limitations may have run out in terms of tax fraud. Andrew touched on the issue of money laundering. I think that's very salient here. The question that has always hung over Deutsche Bank is after the early 1990s, when every other major money center bank fled from Donald Trump because he essentially welched on over $3 billion in loans, Deutsche Bank came back and decided to do business with him. They litigated in the mid-2000s after Trump tried to walk away from a big Deutsche Bank loan on his Chicago property, and yet the bank kept doing business with him. They moved his business from the commercial side of the bank into their private bank. So why has Deutsche Bank, among all other major banks, continued to do business with the president? Deutsche Bank itself has had a long history of troubles, including money laundering issues that have drawn the attention of regulators in the U.S. and Europe. Deutsche Bank knows very well that Donald Trump has inflated his assets for a long time. When we litigated, we produced a document in that litigation. When we litigated with Trump, he sued me for libel over my biography. Deutsche Bank had an assessment of Trump's wealth in 2004 at $788 million at a time when Trump was saying he was worth $6 billion. So the idea that Trump is out there inflating his wealth isn't a new thing for Deutsche Bank. I think where this goes around, bank fraud and insurance fraud and possible money laundering is the stuff that could really worry Trump.